As a young citizen of India, armed with technology, knowledge, and love for my nation, with a vision of transforming India into a developed nation, I am joining Shobhit University. What about you?
Very good morning to all the participants from India and abroad. Shobhit Institute of Engineering and Technology, Meerut, deemed to be university, and its centers of excellence, Center for Informatics Development Solutions and Application, and Center for Industry 4.0 Technology Studies and Applications, in association with African Asian Rural Development Organization, ARDO, New Delhi, organized this weekly international webinar series on open source digital technologies towards self-reliant India. Atmanirbhar Bharat. Today is the 101st edition of the webinar series, Changing Landscape of Entrepreneurship in the Digital Age, 24th December 2022. This webinar is being held between 11:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. Indian Standard Time every Saturday. On behalf of the Honorable Chancellor, His Excellency the Secretary General ARDO, Honorable Vice Chancellor, the faculty members of the university, and on my behalf, and as Professor Emeritus and Chairman of the Centers of Excellence, Center for Agricultural Informatics and E-Governance Research Studies, Center for Agribusiness and Disaster Management Studies, and Center for Informatics Development Solutions and Application, Center for Industry 4.0 Technology Studies and Application, and Center for Health Informatics and Computing. Let me welcome our chief guest today, Dr. Kavita R. Shunmughan, co-founder, director, OD Practices, Talent Abundance HR Solutions, Kochi, Kerala. I wish to inform the participants and the guest speaker that the university regularly conducts two webinar series, namely National Webinar Series on Doubling Farmers' Income by 2022 on every Thursday, and International Webinar Series on Open Source Digital Technology towards Self-Reliant India on every Saturday. Under this international webinar series, these two centers of excellence, Center for Informatics Development Solutions and Application and Center for Industry 4.0 Technology Studies and Application, have organized 100 lectures so far on various important topics relevant for today's situation. Open technologies to provision simple and economical IT infrastructure, a roadmap for students using free and open source software, and reaching goals of Atmanirbhar Bharat. Free and open source software adoption business models, open data platform for smart digital government, technology imperatives, make in India for self-reliance, edge artificial intelligence, data governance for self-reliant India, digital India transforming governance and society, ecosystem architecture for digital transformation, India's email service, citizen@indiamail.com in 22 constitutionally recognized languages, education system, cyber critical infrastructure, seizing opportunities in open innovation and value creation network in the digital world for self-reliant economy, ensuring food safety and compliance through technology, digital India, urgent need for semiconductor manufacturing in India, technology investment in agriculture value chain, role of foreign direct investments, entrepreneurship and skill development, AI design pathways, the rise of platform economy, revisiting value chain governance, era of automation, industrial robotics, and industry 4.0 into German perspective of technology transfer, skill gap analysis, and opportunities, role of artificial intelligence in healthcare, current developments in diagnosis and vaccine research, digital agri-tech and agri-startup perspective, health informatics network value chain, e-health system and beyond, leveraging emerging technology for ensuring transparent and traceable agri and food supply chain, unleash the power of citizen development for enterprise software development, e-governance models towards sustained quality services to citizen backed up by technology, Indian MSMEs to adopt Industry 4.0 technology capabilities, urgent needs for mentorship and accelerator program, building public digital platform using microservices and APIs, health informatics network value chain, early childhood development and learning, health informatics network value chain, clinical AI, interface between machine learning and health informatics, health informatics network value chain, importance of social medicine and community health in the times of health emergency. Gravity filter, G filter, a simple low cost solution to drinking water treatment in rural India. Open source GovTech startups empowering growth with automation. Digital transformation in small enterprises and small businesses of India, challenges and opportunities. Digital transformation in small enterprises and small businesses of India, challenges and opportunities. It is very relevant for today's topic. This was given by Mr. R.K. Jayabalan, founder and CEO, Consortree, and he's closely associated with technology group in Madurai region. National Digital Twin Program, need for a robust geospatial infrastructure. Industry 4.0 in MSME, benefits of indigenously developed CollabCAD software from National Informatics Center, mass serialization and anti-counterfeiting solutions to fight illicit trade by a very young startup, from Kanyakumari district. He delivered a talk. Cyber security, risk, challenges, and solutions, intelligence approach to reduce cyber risk. New Internet IPv6 root server towards Atmanirbhar Connected Bharat. Indian startups, reflections, and possible policy interventions needed for scaling up to Gram Panchayat. Blockchain and crypto for digital assets platform, pathways for global trade. Robot as a service, leverage technology to solve enterprise challenges. Space startups, connecting to international markets with emerging business models, enabling technologies for future vision. Vivekananda Secondary Education and Skill Development Mega Project, its potential impact on rural entrepreneurship and the rural economy in India. Sports Grail, a digital sports media platform, and prospects of Indian sports industry sustainability model at a global level. Pharma 4.0, Industry 4.0 applications to pharmaceutical manufacturing, path to a digital transformation. Accelerate and scale non-linear growth through partner ecosystems. Technological renaissance and human capital, a perspective. Health informatics network value chain, medical outreach, challenges versus potential. Beyond COVID 19, revitalizing micro and small enterprises. Beyond COVID 19, revitalizing micro and small enterprises by Mr. K.E. Raghunathan, social entrepreneur and founder, D4E Network India Private Limited. Project management essential, launchpad for future CEOs and startup founders beyond. Society 5.0, a new society beyond Industry 4.0 and post COVID 19. Smart Village oblique Community, the African ICT oblique IoT lesson by Mr. Chandra Pillai, co founder and CEO, Purple Chain Technologies Private Limited. Digital economy, ways and means to protect and empower for self reliance. Pragmatic ways for Atmanirbhar Bharat. Democratization of essential services by using sustainable energy as a catalyst. Transforming India through relevant education and vocational training. Digital technology in simplifying citizen life. Online learning during the pandemic and its future. Smart microeconomic zones, pathway for self-reliance at village level. Crime prediction support system. Knowledge management for development partnership to achieve the sustainable development goals of UN and implementing the Agenda 2030. Millet value chain from IoT to blockchain, a traceability roadmap. Aspirational district program in left-wing extremism affected district, a successful model of data-driven governance. Digital agriculture supply chain and trading hub, a geo-economic perspective by Mr. Maya Suresh Kannan from Canada. Market-driven agriculture needed for development of a crop-specific strategies at block level. An open agri network to unlock the $1 trillion plus potential of Indian agriculture with smallholder farmer. Founder and Group CEO Samunati, Chennai. developing rural entrepreneurship to ensure doubling of farmers' income, leveraging the power of convergence through connecting the dots, agri startups, agripreneurs, and rural innovators. Agronomy plus artificial intelligence is equal to precision farming. Doubling farmers' income, imperative of plant health informatics network. Developing commercial breadfruit value chain to help farmers to reach high value markets. Commodity value chain creation through Agri Network and Agri AI by Andrew Gavagan from Global Opportunities Commercialization, Melbourne, Australia. Farm to Plate, a one stop agri tech platform to simplify supply chain and e commerce needs of food and perishable commodities. Health Informatics Network Value Chain, National Animal Disease Reporting System, NADRS 2012 and beyond by Dr. Praveen Malik, Animal Husbandry Commissioner, Government of India. AI and Metaverse, Frontiers in Workspace by Dr. Meera Venkat, President and CEO, Race Global. Coconut Value Chain, Challenges, Transforming into Opportunities. Coffee Informatics Network Value Chain, facilitating smallholder coffee farmers into business. Health Informatics Network Value Chain, building of One Health ecosystem, role of digital architecture by Dr. Sindhura Kanapati, visiting Principal Scientific Advice to Government of India Fellow. Diversification of fish and fisheries resources management and its challenges in Bangladesh. Data mining and digital agriculture. Drone technology ecosystem, empowering smallholder farmers in India. Fisheries Informatics Network Value Chain, business plan for fisheries cooperative to attract investors. Marketing, making urbanization work for the poor through new technology by Miss Rosemary, Astrid Rosemary, Urban Advisor, Independent Consultant, Kampala, Uganda. Disruptive technologies in precision agriculture. Strategy for total development of local area with ICT. Digital economy, ways and means to protect and empower for self-reliance. Sustainability frameworks and standards for agriculture commodities. Global experience. We Mill, a social business initiative for rural women. E-governance in digital India, challenges and potential by Major Namrata Dasmana. Applications of AI and digitization in agriculture and animal husbandry, organic and natural farming, certification and way forward, transformation through technology. T3, pathway for industries to embrace digital, operational, and knowledge transformation for participating in global value chain. Health Informatics Network Value Chain, Digital Health Analytics leading to digital twine for better health care. Smart, sustainably managing agriculture in remote train technologies, empowering farmers to make agriculture profitable and sustainable by Dr. Rajul Patkar and co-founder and CEO Proximal Soil Sense Technology Private Limited, Pune. India becoming drone technology global hub by 2030. Opportunities, challenges, and way forward. Regeneration and acceleration of agribusiness through digital transformation by Mrs. Bharati Sinha, Director, Amity Software Systems Limited. Connect One, a connecting platform for empowering farming communities by Mr. Vijay Satyanation. He is Chief Executive Officer of Connect One Club, and it is operating from both in Kerala and Australia. And today is the 101th edition of this very important webinar series. We will have the talk by our guest speaker, Dr. Kavita R. Shunmughan, co-founder and director OD Practices, Talent Abundance, HR Solutions, Kochi, Kerala, and a very important topic, changing landscape of entrepreneurship in the digital age. For the benefit of the participants who are viewing this program, I would like to introduce the topic very effectively. India is said to be a land of villages. Acharya Vinoba Bhave said, India is largely an agricultural country, Krishi Pradhan Desh, and a country of villages having more than 6.25 lakh villages. Agriculture sector is the foundation of Indian economy. It employs more than 50% of India's workforce and contributes almost 17 to 18% of its GDP. At present, agricultural livelihoods are being severely impacted world over as a result of anthropogenic global warming and climate change. And farmers of India are facing multi-dimensional problems such as price fluctuation, debt, lack of infrastructure, and weather. Indian farming community comprises of about 14.5 crores operational holdings, of which 85% of the farmers have small and marginal size operational holdings. They're all coming under SMEs. Farmer needs timely, location-specific, personalized information for effective control on their production risk and then market their produce to identified market opportunities. We have 63 million SMEs in the country, out of which 3 million SMEs are working in the agricultural value chain, and we have 14.5 crore operational holders. And many national level programs such as Digital India, Make in India, Skill India, Startup India, and Stand Up India programs have faced operational difficulties for its impact at farm level and farmer level, and that too at small and marginal farmers. I would like to quote our Honorable Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi, at the 7th Governing Council meeting of Niti Aayog held on 7th August 2022 in New Delhi. In his opening address, he stressed, I quote, the need to focus on modernized agriculture, animal husbandry, and food processing to become self-sufficient and global leader in the agriculture. In his closing remarks, he said, I quote, each state should focus on promoting trade, tourism, and technology via every Indian mission around the world. The states must focus on reducing imports, increasing exports, and identifying opportunities thereof. I also would like to quote the recommendations of the Dr. Ashok Dalwai Committee on Doubling Farmers' Income by 2022, Report 2018. I was closely associated with the committee during its formulation of various recommendations as the Chief Advisor IT of the Department of Agriculture Cooperation and Farmers' Welfare. And I chaired two subgroups, Volume 11 and Volume 12B. Volume 11 talks about empowering the farmers through extension and knowledge dissemination. Volume 12B talks about digital technology in agriculture. The 7 mission mode programs of digital technology in agriculture will make Indian agricultural economy totally digitalized. 7 mission mode programs develop digitalized agriculture, digital technology and innovation in agriculture, synergization of all the schemes such as Digital India, Make in India, Skill India, Stand Up India, and Scale Up India, for transformational reforms in agriculture through smart irrigated farming, smart rainfed farming, and smart tribal farming. Digitalized agromet advisories and agricultural risk management solutions. Digitalized agricultural resources information system and micro level planning for achieving smart village and smart farming. Digitalized value chain for about 400 agriculture commodities and get integrated with the global value chain. Digitalized access to inputs, technology, knowledge, skill, agricultural finance, credit, marketing, and agribusiness management to the farmers. Digitalized integrated land and water management system for per drop and more crop. Digitalized farm health management for reduction of farmers' loss. This will talk about human health, plant health, animal health, soil health, water health, fish health, and environmental health. As of now, these are all verticals. And this data doesn't talk to each other. It is not interoperable. And if this is seen through a GIS technology on a village level, we don't have to go for any lockdown in near future. And this is a $1 trillion data economy. I foresee India having a data center with the 10,000 data scientists on this data alone. It will have a $1 trillion data economy. Atmanirbhar Bharat is a road ahead. It is a vision of our Honorable Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi, of making India self-reliance, rested on 5 I's: intent, inclusion, investment, infrastructure, and innovation, based on 5 pillars: economy, quantum jump in economy; infrastructure, one that represents modern India; system, 21st century technology driven; and vibrant demography, sources of energy for self-reliant India; and demand, whereby the strength of our demand and supply chain should be utilized to full capacity. We have a Digital India program which aims to transform India into a knowledge-based economy and a digitally empowered society. And digital world, the rise of platform economy, and platform economy, digital platform economy is emerging. Digital ecosystems are essential for digital transformation in the digitalized world. And on 20th of February 2019, the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology published a report titled India's $1 trillion digital opportunity. And the report identified about 30 digital themes. If scaled up nationally, can accelerate India's progress in 9 key areas. So this alone can bring in a $1 trillion digital opportunity. And emerging technologies making impact are AI, 5G, IoT, serverless computing, biometrics, augmented reality, virtual reality, blockchain, robotics, natural language processing, and quantum computing. As far as India is concerned, we have to work in the framework of three ecosystems: Industry 4.0, which has come from German, Society 5.0, which has come from Japan, and Agriculture 4.0, which India has to give it to the whole world. And we also have Amrit Kal led up to 100. It means 2047, how the new India will be. And it has also got a blueprint. Government of India has come out with a blueprint which talks about complementing the macroeconomic level growth with a microeconomic level all-inclusive welfare focus. Is very important. And we also have a national logistic policy which promotes development of unified logistic interface platform. And I also would like to quote what our Honorable Prime Minister said on 15th August 2022, 76th Independence Day. He named 5 pillars for India's development, 5 pledges for 2047. He called it Panch Prans, goal of developed India. Remove any trace of colonial mindsets. Take pride in our roots, unity, and sense of duty among the citizens. Now we have 17 sustainable development goals and 169 targets to be achieved to achieve the future we want. Today's topic is changing landscape of entrepreneurship in the digital age. Entrepreneurship in the digital age. I would like to quote Asian Development Bank report, which is released in the month of September 2022. The theme chapter is on entrepreneurship in the digital age. Sustaining regions' economic growth. Sustaining regions' economic growth depends on a vibrant sector from which dynamic entrepreneurs can emerge to innovate and create many jobs. Digital entrepreneurship helped keep economies afloat during COVID-19, and it can become a major engine of growth in the post-pandemic world. Yet, with the exception of Singapore and the Republic of Korea, global ranking shows most of the region's economy in the Asian economies are lagging when it comes to the environment for digital entrepreneurs. It talks about, yet, with the exception of Singapore and the Republic of Korea, the global ranking shows most of the region's economies are lagging when it comes to the environment of digital entrepreneurs. I am quoting it because of today's relevant topic. And digitalization and strong rule of law can facilitate innovative entrepreneurship. Digitalization and strong rule of law can facilitate innovative entrepreneurship, two areas where policymakers can help create a conducive environment for dynamic entrepreneurs to flourish. Digital technology lowers entry barriers to digital technology lowers entry barriers to new firms. And new index that measures the quality of national digital entrepreneurship environment, it also published it. And when you look at it, I was very much, it is not a good number for India is concerned, but it's a big concern. Global Index of Digital Entrepreneurship Systems measures the quality of environment for digital entrepreneurs by capturing the degree of digitalization in society and the economy and how it supports entrepreneurial ecosystem. The index is constructed with 8 pillars that capture the diverse elements of the digital entrepreneurship environment, namely culture, institution, market condition, infrastructure, human capital, knowledge, finance, and networking. Significantly, the index allows for a meaningful comparison of the quality of national digital ecosystem across 113 global economies. Singapore boasts the world's best digital entrepreneurship system, followed by the United States, Sweden, Denmark, and Switzerland. They also have categorized and these leaders and followers and catchers and laggards. And India comes under the laggards category. And this is a one which I thought that for today's one I should bring it out. It takes care of the quality of national environment for digital in entrepreneurs to generally better in more developed economies. They have taken care of stand-up ecosystems, startup ecosystems, scale-up ecosystems. So they have seen 3 ecosystems: stand-up ecosystem, startup ecosystems, and scale-up ecosystem to bring out this index. And Singapore is 81.3 in the scale of 0 to 100. United States 79.7, and whereas India is in the 75th position after 113 global economies with the index is 19.6. So I think a lot of push has been given from since 2014, but this is a figure where it's not, we have to look into it. There is no point in putting so many adjectives, but why is it so? And this this has to be looked into by the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, and almost for all central ministries and all those state departments and union territory and NCT departments. And here also that it is coming under the tail enders. The tail enders is that Egypt is number 1, next is Morocco, and then comes India. And in the stand-up system score is 19. It is in the 113, it is 78th position. In startup system, grade score, it is 19.7. It is 71. And then in scale-up system, it is 20. It is 75. And in totally, it is 75th position. So we are not, it is the figure, 113 economies. It is in stand-up system ecosystem, it is 78th position, and startup system ecosystem, it is 71st position, and scale-up system ecosystem, it is 75th, and overall, it is 75th position. And this is recently published in the month of September 2022. And I'll be very happy if our guest speaker, Dr. Kavita Shunmughan, can throw some light on this if it is possible. Evidence confirms the importance of conducive digital environment for productive entrepreneurship. Digital technology is changing the very nature of entrepreneurship. Digital era, developing your business through innovation, is another report published on July 29, 2022 by Katarina. Katarina she is an intellectual property and privacy law attorney. I quote, 21st century is a digital era and a business must adapt to survive. To stay competitive, business needed to be innovative and take advantage of the latest technology. Here are some of the digital advancement to consider: artificial intelligence, machine learning, Internet of Things, big data and analytics, cloud computing, and blockchain. And also that, according to Dr. Amit K. Sinha, director of Kirloskar Institute of Advanced Management Studies, Pune, I quote, business analysts are multitaskers. They needed to be mediators, connectors, or project communicators, depending upon the project they are working on. To be successful, it is important to have the right education, communication skill, and hands-on experience. This is published in the National Daily, the Hindu newspaper, dated on 29th December 2018. There is also an overview of agribusiness industry in India, opportunities and challenges. Agribusiness sector in developing country such as India comprises of four distinct subsectors: agricultural input, agricultural production, agro processing, and marketing trade. We need entrepreneurship in this area. And agribusiness is an industry, enterprise, and the field of study of value chain in agriculture. Agribusiness is not limited to farming. It encompasses a broad spectrum through the agribusiness system, which includes input supply, value addition, marketing, entrepreneurship, microfinancing, and agricultural extension. Modern agriculture has got many complex challenges: coping with climate change, soil erosion, biodiversity loss, satisfy consumers' changing tastes and expectation, meet rising demand for more food of high quality, invest in farm productivity, adopt and learn new technology, and so on and so forth. United Nations Industry Development Organization, in its report published in 2021, titled Smart Agribusiness, it talks about adoption of technology very importantly: agro industries, industrial skill development, rural entrepreneurship, job creation, and human security divisions that, and sustainable food systems. It talks about that entrepreneurship is essential, and also talks about smart agribusiness refers to application of digital technologies to improve efficiency of all the stakeholders in the interrelated and interdependent value chain in agriculture. So one can, in the theory, smart agribusiness can have a democratizing effect. In theory, smart agribusiness can have a democratizing effect across the agriculture sector, and they have potential to positively impact the livelihoods of all those involved in agriculture sector, irrespective of social divides such as gender, age, and economic status, among others. Main opportunities lies in the area of human capital development, facilitating pathways for smart agribusiness growth and precision agriculture solutions. Digital literacy is a key enabler for smart agribusiness. And World Bank also talks about agribusiness. Small and medium-sized enterprises are critical to link smallholder producers to national markets. Building effective working strategies, human resources. I would like to quote from the synopsis of the guest speaker. Talks about the session will provide insight into some of the challenges and reasons for the failure of startups. Further, sorry. Further, it will also highlight how the dynamic market requirement should blend with Industry 4.0 objectives considered by the entrepreneurs of the digital era. Is very important, Industry 4.0, and also to understand why the challenges and reasons for the failure of startups. Some of the aspects covered during the session will be on business environment, human resources, and customers, merged with high-end technology to maximize productivity to the highest level. The right focus on these arenas would facilitate the entrepreneur to think out of box and make best use of skills and technology, thus promoting innovation among the vibrant youths. The session also will value adds, will Value adds in the way entrepreneurs can leverage technologies to make their enterprises become more effective, more efficient, and deliver results. More effective, more efficient, and deliver results for all the stakeholders. Building effective working strategies. Human resources is the critical asset that an organization possesses. Though evolving technologies supplement most of the activities an organization does, but without human commands, powerful technologies remain futile. But without human commands, powerful technologies remain futile. The employees facilitated in the right direction based on their skill can deliver two-thirds of their potential, feel highly satisfied, and stay committed to the work, committed at work. We at Talent Abundance believe in the tremendous inner potential of the people and thrive to support organization to identify, unleash, and nurture these people capabilities to desired results. I also would like to, from their, screen, from the website, avoid the mistake of forcing your organization into one size fits for all framework. I liked it, this, that's a statement. And another one is that building a visionary company requires 1% vision and 99% alignment. And strategic alignment between various elements of your organization is central to its effectiveness. Without it, focus is lost and energy wasted as people, systems, and processes work at cross purposes with one another. Organizational development practices. Organizational development is a critical and science-based process that help organization build their capacity to change and achieve greater effectiveness by developing, improving, and reinforcing strategies and processes. Today's world is characterized by volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity. In short, VUCA. This VUCA world requires new agility from organization, and organizational development is the means to that end. So today's talk is being given by the guest speaker, who is he is designated as Director OD Practices. So OD is a science-backed effort focusing on improving an organization's capacity by aligning a number of processes and is related to but different than human resources management. Entry, diagnosis, feedback, solutions, and evaluations, human process, techno-structural, HR management, and strategy. What is the difference between OD and human resource? Many OD interventions related to human resource management and talent management, while HR, human resources initiatives, focus on people process practices. Organization development zooms out to consider multiple inputs and tools that cut across the breadth and depth of the organization. OD is more holistic and strategic, whereas HR is operational. With this background, let us now turn to the address by the guest speaker, Dr. Kavita R. Shunmughan, co-founder, director, CEO, OD Practices, Talent Abundance, HR Relations, HR Solutions, Kochi, Kerala, on a very important topic, changing landscape of entrepreneurship in the digital age. Today's topic will motivate and galvanize the participants watching over telecast through facebook.com/Shobhit University India, youtube.com/Shobhit University in, or linkedin.com/company Shobhit-University for regeneration and acceleration of agri-businesses through digital transformation at village level, and also to establish 2.25 lakh agri-business startups, one per each Gram Panchayat in the country, and also to facilitate digitalization of 63 million SMEs in the MSMEs in the country. Let me introduce our guest speaker to the audience, Mr. Manish. Dr. Kavita R. Shunmughan, co-founder, director, OD Practices, Talent Abundance HR Solutions, an organizational psychologist who prefers to look beyond the usual and is passionate about designing and facilitating interventions that generate true value to the organization, to true value for the organization and its people. Dr. Kavita possesses 20 plus years of experience in competency based management systems, assessment development center, psychometrics, behavioral and soft skill training, performance management, coaching, leadership development, goal setting, research, and data analysis. Dr. Kavita is a co-founder and director of OD practices with the Talent Abundance HR Solutions and appreciates sharing her knowledge with aspiring industrial psychologists at Sinmaya University, Kerala. Earlier, she held a senior level position with Randstad Limited, where she feels herself to be privileged to have been the master facilitator for multiple companies in designing and facilitating people intervention and headed project in India, Sri Lanka, Middle East, and Indonesia. She holds her doctorate degree in organizational psychology and earned her master's in the same subject from the University of Kerala. In addition, she is a certified psychometrician, competence based facilitator, HR analytics, and a professional. With this, I welcome Dr. Kavita or Shunmughan to deliver her talk on the topic changing landscape of entrepreneurship in the digital age. Madam, over to you. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks a lot for building up a beautiful context for the today's topic, that is on changing landscape of entrepreneurship in the digital age or era. um, you have already said, or you have already put across, Professor Moni, that what are the important aspects that we have to look from the resources point of view, and how digitalizations and how technology is going to change the entire thing. As I'm being introduced as an industrial psychologist, in my name it is a psychologist, it is being there. I come from more from a people perspective, thinking how people have to leverage the external aspects and then bring the entire change in the society, and bring in the output also. So with that, I'll just start my presentation on changing landscape of entrepreneurship in the digital era. This is a very important topic because today we are being flooded with informations. Youths are being talking about how to work on the iPhones, and how to extract the data from the iPhones, or they are being working on the tabs, they are working remotely. All these things are being there. When such is the situation, that means we have to look the business from a different perspective altogether, and hence the importance of changing landscape of entrepreneurship in the digital era. What are the topics that I'm going to cover in the next 1 hour's time? It is about the challenges the global market is facing, the growing industry statistics, the youth perceptions, and the entrepreneurship as a solution. Because I'm talking about the entrepreneurship from the people perspective, I'll be also talking about, the areas that entrepreneurs of today, that is the youth of today, can focus upon, and can think about the business, taking the advantage of the advanced technologies, making use of IoT, cloud computing, artificial intelligence in their startup businesses. And they also need to sustain the business. That's most important, because that is what industry 4.0 talks about. And what are the areas of entrepreneur concerns? Because today's youth are very agile, they are very different from the earlier generations, maybe generation X, Y. Totally different Gen Zs are being there, and we have to handle that also. So there should be a blend of all the aspects, consider all the aspects, and then we have to move forward. So there are certain tips that I have put forward. There are some business models that I have put forward based on my experience. So starting with the kind of challenges that we have, if you will see in this slide, it is about, I'm talking about the changing landscape and related to entrepreneurship, and I'm bringing a topic on unemployment. Why is it that I'm bringing the top 10 countries which is coming under the youth unemployment? Because the employment is about the contribution in an economical way to the nation, and the organization or in the country is growing accordingly. The GDPs reflect the growth of of the nation. So it's very important statistics that we have to talk about. When I talk about the unemployment and entrepreneurship, there is a question: is entrepreneurship a solution to defeat unemployment? If I will say that yes, then I would say that no, it is one of the solution that can be considered for defeating unemployment. There are many various reasons are being there that we cannot eliminate, and entrepreneurship is one way of creating jobs and creating a meaningfulness in the life of the youth. Today, many youths are going behind the drugs. There are a lot of violence in the society because they have idle mind. They do not know how to do it, how to deal a life in a purposeful manner, how to use the technology in an effective manner. Is it that our education system? Is it about our governmental policy? Is it about our youth being ready for all these things? That is what we are talking about. That is what is the reason why we are talking about the changing landscape of the entrepreneurship. When you think about entrepreneurship, you have to think very differently. The next question is, if you have decided that yes, I'm going for an entrepreneurial venture, the next thing is whether I will go for a manufacturing sector or a service sector. Okay, so what is the statistics talking about? Today, it is estimated that two-thirds of the economic activity worldwide consists of services, and half of the world's workforce are in the service sector. So, am I going to say that manufacturing is no more existing? I am not saying that. Without manufacturing, service doesn't have the place altogether. So, but why is that emphasis is going more into services? It is because of the technological disruption that has happened in the entire ecosystem, how the utilization of technology has been done, and it has entered into the market, the global market. Now it is not being put across a boundary that the business is all about within India, within Africa, or within any other countries. It is not between Asia, Europe. It is not like that. It is globally. And whenever an entrepreneur thinks about a business, the person has to think for the entire global market. That's why diversity talks about. Okay, so when I'm talking about manufacturing, why is that manufacturing is not getting more focus? Because already industries have equipped themselves with better automations is being coming, and they are getting replaced. Human beings are getting replaced by automations. Okay, robotics are being coming in, and they are making the life easier. Then what is that? It is being left for the human beings to work on. Then it is about the service that we can render. It is about, as in my synopsis aspect, when Moniji was talking about, he has said that, how we can blend the technology with the human resources, how that human potential is more than, I will always put it across that, human potential is more than the technology. If technology goes to this level, then human potential is at this level. Every time it is a competition between the technology and the human potential, but it is how we are leveraging this human potential, making the best utilization of technology, and then getting the best. It has its own drawbacks also, but that we will talk in the later part, towards the end of the session. That will also be an intriguing part for you to think about whether you have to start on those areas also. So today, when entrepreneurship is to be considered, please consider Industry 4.0 objectives, which talks about increased productivity, increased flexibility, increased quality, increased speed in which the I am ordering a food, a burger, a pizza, it should come within no time, it should reach to me. It is about the quality, the kind of customizations that I will talk about in flexibility. Earlier we can have only in certain automobile sectors. You can see for Ferrari can give a customized kind of a car which is blended to the customer satisfaction, but today all the customers are asking for individual customized products and services. That is the biggest challenge, and there is where our technology is going to get blended with the human skill sets. Okay. It is about the increased productivity. It's not about I'm working from 9 to 5, I'm working from 9 to 12 at night. It is not that. It's about how effectively I am working, how quickly, the speed with which I am able to resolve the problem with the help of technology. So these are some of the things that gives the importance that things have been changing. You cannot think about an entrepreneur. Earlier, the entrepreneur will be thinking that, okay, the market is about this. The market talks about the customer requires A product, B product is what it is being required. It has the USPs that it is affordable rate or it is for the niche population. All those things were being considered. But today, things are being different. We are entering into the global market. Okay, so when we talk about this particular aspect, is very, very important that we should understand an entrepreneur when he or she decides that I want to become an entrepreneur. The first thing is they have to understand what's the growing industry. The five growing industries in the globally it is being seen is e-commerce, cloud computing, artificial intelligence, healthcare, and hospitality. These are the five major industries which are being growing globally, and it is going to make an impact. The people who are thinking of starting a business on this particular area, they are going to make a huge difference, and a huge potentials are being there. An entrepreneur has to essentially blend his or her vision to what the nation is going about, what is the area of industry. Like rightly being said by Professor Moniji, that India is an agricultural land, and here we promote more on the agricultural activities. So that is how we can blend the technology to this thing. Our visual imaginations about agriculture farming is somebody with a tractor, somebody with plowing in the land. Is it about that we are talking about? Sorry, it's changed. It's about what kind of fertility I have to use, at what time I have to use, when will I be able to say that this kind of climate is coming, and for that this kind of crop, as against the kind of the soil properties of the land. That also has to be blended up, right? For all these things we require data. And where is this data coming from? It is data driven world. That's why this digital age we are talking about, we have to get all this information. There are many apps out there which substantiate. This is the place where entrepreneurs can think about creating an app which gives so many diverse aspects of data about specific industries, and this industrial data will help them to make the business model altogether. So we cannot always think that business is not different from what's happening in the society. It's not different from what's going to be in the future. The future is the youth. So I talk about the youth dynamics at this front also. What is the youth perception? If there are the listeners who are being young youths, what is that you want? Okay, you want to work. If you are from India, you would like to visit a foreign country. From foreign countries, they might be thinking that they have to come in India and have to explore the diversity. They want to see it, they want to understand it, and they want to utilize it. So can you see the passion that the youth is having? The youth is very vibrant, the youth is having a lot of passion within them, but it is not being, as a psychologist I'm saying, it is not being directed in a right manner. So how to utilize the diversity? If you will see in most of the organization, whether you take Capgemini, whether you take the Indian organizations called Tatas, Wipros, Infosys, you take any of the organizations, they have diversity and inclusion. Why is that diversity and inclusion is being coming in? Because industry 4.0 talks about flexibility, it talks about productivity today. The challenge is, I want to see the innovations, and today's youth are full of innovations. You give any work to them, they will come out of the creative ideas, and but they lack something related to the pragmatic thing, because of the lack of experience. This is where they require the support altogether. If they come out because of the information overloaded from the technology, the kind of exposure they have to the internet, they come out with a very innovative things, but they do not know how to use it. They do not know how to make it productive. There is where the the Gen X and Gen Y can come in and help them, and the youths can get a meaningful life where their passion is getting addressed, and they feel more satisfied and meaningful, and not being getting distracted with the wiseful habits, right? So it is about, they were being born with the mobile, they were born in the digital era, where they were always having mobile in the hand. The first thing the child learns is not about the ABCD that they are going to the kindergarten or the nursery, but rather they will be sitting, they will be just switching on the mobile, and they will be seeing what are the different apps are being there, especially the video games they would like to go. Many parents are today very worried about why they are being looking into this mobile, why they are spending time on the mobile phones, and is it fruitful? Should we allow them or not? By default, things are being changing. I think everyone has to change, right? You cannot change, you cannot stop the digitalizations coming up, and going to influence your lifestyle, influence your thinking power. It's going to influence. So I would say that you have to see that how the child is making the best use of it, and it is making productive use of it, rather than going into the wrong channels, right? So they want, the youth perception is, whatever I do, I need money, I want to enjoy my life. And we are teaching them to be assertive, we are teaching them, yeah, you come and tell me what is that you want. They upfront come and tell to us that this is what it is being the requirement. Then why to get affected by what they are being telling? Because they are very realistic, they need money. If they need money, then they have to show the productivity, and they will show the productivity through the use of technology. A very controversial topic that going to talk about, priority to health. In one side, I'm saying that they are being affected by drugs, and on the other side, I'm talking about they are giving emphasis to health. Yes, today's youth are giving importance to the health, but believe me, the health aspect, it is in the perception. They want to give importance to the health aspect, but unfortunately their passion, their urge, their drive is not being directed, rooted to the productivity, to the work aspect, and hence we can see the bigger of the negative things, violence, aggressions, and drug abuses or mental abuses we can see. But they have the perception that yes, good health is required. We have to promote that particular thing through an effective manner. That's why in one of the aspect that Moniji was talking about, he spoke about the social health, right? So it is not just about the physical health, it is about the physical health, social health, mental health. All those things are being taking a big heights, and there an entrepreneur has to look upon. And the society is changing. People have to see the youths are having a challenge. If they sit on the technology and work, they are the parents say that, you are wasting time. Please understand that tomorrow's youth, today's youth are going to enter a job market which is full of digitalization. They have to learn it, and that societal change everyone has to undergo with. And whether it is the youth or whether it is the older generations, that needs to club up and they have to look for the results. Okay, so that is about the youth dynamics, and it has to get blended, the youth dynamics. If you will see industry, growing industry from a different angle, and youth perception from a different angle, I would say, I would give the answer to one question: why are startups failing? Because these are being seen in two different dimensions, but they are not two different dimensions, because the employees who are going to work in the organization is the youth of today. And what is their perception, what is their need, that is what it has to be fulfilled. And hence the entrepreneurship, which was being in yester time, it was being described as the process of designing, launching, and running a new business, wherein it involves risk and it is talking about the profit, has been changed to digital entrepreneurship, where we are talking about, how the physical aspect, the tangible things can be made more intangible, more flexible, and more effective, so that it reaches the masses, it reaches globally through the use of the technology. So entrepreneurship has to be defined from the digitalization aspect rather than just from the business aspect, which only look from the business perspective. When I look from digital entrepreneurship, I look business and I blend the technology also in against that. So are you confused? Are you confused? Should I start a business or should I only look for a technology? What is that I'm going to talk about? So the clarity will come in the next few slides. So if you are thinking, if you are very clear about what this entrepreneurship is, and you are going to start up a business in today's world, when you are going to start up a business, there are many aspects that you have to consider. You have to consider industries, you have to consider market, you have to consider resources, customer, and the national policies. If you look into these five aspects, then only, and whether it is a stand up or startup, or it is a scale up business, it will succeed only when all these things are being with blended with technology. Without technology, there is no success. Without technology, you cannot think about having a business. You will have a small scale business. So today I'm talking about a developing country. Today I'm going to talk about the rural masses. So in the rural area, what is their challenges? How they have to get accommodated, and they have to get learnings about they have to get the learnings related to IoT. They have to get learning about cloud computing. They have to get learning about the artificial intelligence, and that they have to bring it to their business for creating or making it as a data driven organization. No organization will succeed which is just only from a strategic perspective. It has to be data driven. So if in any of the organization which is successful today, you see all the top 5 organization from across the countries globally, you look, they are having high systems, and this systems is based on the data and the kind of analysis. That's why in the market, data analytics courses and data analysis kind of jobs is getting more opportunities. So I'm also talking about the skills that the youth of today should look upon. And when they are studying any topic, you have to think from the data analytic point of view. What kind of data you are having, what kind of data you need to gather. So let me go into the details of each one of it. So when I'm talking about the uh, industries, what are the things that it is? So when I say about the growing service sector industries, I've taken from the Indian industry, and I have found in the Forbes India, it was being listed that trade, hotels, transport, communication and broadcasting services, financials, real estate and professional services, public administration and defenses and other services are going to be the key areas which an entrepreneur can look at, right? So um, and in all these things, please remember, a human being cannot stay with a capsule. A human being cannot stay without food. Agriculture is the primary sector that is going to come and become dominant. Whether I'm starting a trade, whether I'm starting a hotel industry, whether I'm going for a transport, there are human resources, and in human resources, when they are being working, we are having the food things. So in the agriculture sector also, how you are going to address these people in a different angles, that has to be looked, rather than just thinking about the data. I'm just now giving a very diverse angle for the people who are looking from the business on the agriculture sector. When I see from the agriculture sector, I look from the nutrients, fertilizers, I look for the crop, the kind of crop, the kind of land it is being there, weather conditions, this and all. I would say it is the traditional data which are important data to start up a business, but to scale up the business, I have to think out of the box. when i have a when I have a crop being cut across, where is that I have to sell? Then I would say agriculture sector will sell or give services to the entire industrial sector, right? So they are the king, they are on the top, which is going to rule over the entire thing. So for those people who are starting up their entrepreneurship in the agricultural sector, they have to look from these particular dimensions, rather than just from the agricultural focus. One particular dimension actually kills this thing, and that's where the beauty of the data science or the beauty of the technology comes in. That what are the varied perspectives that will be thrown to the entrepreneur, various data that will be thrown to the entrepreneur, and the entrepreneur analyzes them and make the best use in the business to make it profitable and this thing. So that comes from the service angle. So when I talk about the industry perspective, the first thing that you have to look from is the employment perspective. Is it something, an employment for your own self and for others also? Is it going to give any kind of an employment opportunity? And today, when we are talking about the employment, you might have heard of lot of attritions being there. It's very difficult for retaining the people in the market. It's all being very, very difficult. So, is this particular industry going to be there for 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 year, 5 year? How many years it is going to be there? To what extent I'm going to create employment? That's a very important aspect that has to be done in the planning stage itself, in the business plan itself. We are seeing ITC, we are seeing TVS Group, we are seeing Tata. Wipros, Infosys, they are in the diverse field. Why were they being able to go into the diverse particular field? Because they were very, very vigilant about how to utilize what's happening in the market in an effective manner and enter into the employment. It is like how to make the changes with the changes of the customer demands, right? So it becomes very, very important. Like how we have said, the typewriting, nowadays nobody is using typewriting machines, right? Everyone is working on tabs and all. Now it is a foldable computers are being coming in, portable, this thing is coming in, laptops are being coming in. All these things are very, very important for an entrepreneur to think out of the box. Okay, so entrepreneurship opportunities, when they are thinking about, it is very important that they look into what kind of profitability they will get, what kind of digital competitions they would have, because it is going to the diverse global market. Maybe in India that technology is not there, maybe in European countries it might be there, or maybe in India we have a technology which the technology is not being there in the European market. So how is the digital competitions being going to be? This is very, very important for an entrepreneur to think about before starting a business. When the business ideas comes from this two aspect, when entrepreneurship opportunities, the competition, and the competition should be not like, two big giants being fighting for the market share, market size. No, it is not anymore on that front. It is about to what extent you are exploring and using the data and making the best use of the market and always scaling up in the market, right? And what is the kind of profitability that you will be earning? Now in this front, I would also like to say that, you should not be hesitant of going forward for having partnership with the other people or other organizations. That becomes more fruitful, and you can expand easily in the global market. And the most important question is sustainability. Today, as the youth wishes, desire changes every minute, sustainability becomes a question mark, right? If I am having a pen, I will say that, okay, I bought one pen, I will use throughout my lifetime. That was the time period that I was into. But today's youth will say that, okay, today I am using it, tomorrow something new comes, it I want it replaced. Then the question of sustainability comes in. So you have to see that how this particular business can be sustained. So when the business sustainability is being spoken about, you have to see that how in your business you can bring the changes, what's happening in the market is being incorporated in the business time to time. Then only you will be sustainable in your particular business, else the business would fail. The next comes is the most important aspect, market is dynamic. It is being said 90% of the startups survive for 1 year, and only 50% of the startups will survive for 5 years, it is being said. Why is it that the startups are not being surviving? What is the difficulty that they are having? Because in the educational institution, I'm being very critical about it, but I would also say that today government and government across the country, as well as different countries, they are also looking into this particular perspective, how they can blend the market changes into the education system. In India, we have brought in NEP 2020 that will actually scale up to what uh, today's need it is in the industry. That blending of the industry with the market, with the educations, would be making a huge change for the youth and the youth learning system, and it will make youth more productive and fruitful in the coming years, right? So earlier, what it was, earlier we were thinking the marketing mix from the 7P perspective. Okay, what is the price that I would give for the product or the services, promotion, where I have to do, in what manner I have to do the promotion, physical evidences. Is this all important? Yes, it is being important, but only one element you have to add on to this, all these perspectives. And what is that one particular element is digitalization. That is the changes that is being required by the entrepreneurs. So when I talk about the marketing mix, today's youth, whosoever is being studying in whatever, especially from the rural sector, if you are studying the ancient kind of business model, it's not going to work. So how you can make it workable? You just put in that concept one more aspect, that is put across the digitalizations. So you have to think from the three perspectives, that this is a diverse market, how I will reach to the global market, rather than place we were thinking about, okay, I will go only for a Madurai market, I will go only for a niche population. I am not going to go for that. I'm going to reach to all. That should be the aim. Then only the profitability will be more, right? Business is all about profitability. It is about making up the money, right? So then in that case, how I am reaching to the most of the people, how I can collaborate with different. So if I'm starting a business in India, I should also think that, is it relevant to African market, is it relevant to Japan market, Singapore market, and I have to look the market over there also, use the technology what it is being there, the technological skills the youth is being having, and the tools that they are using, incorporate those things, and then make the marketing mix. Then only the market, then only the business plan, especially on the marketing strategies, will be working out. The next important aspect is about the resources. And now in the resources, I have different aspects that I have put across the human resources. As I said, that it is about the digitalizations that we are talking about, then human resources, what kind of skill sets we want. I want the people who have technological skills. What kind of technological skills today, whatever apps that they are having, if I am running a business on consulting, what kind of ERPs are that will be giving me the entire data, which will help me to generate the kind of reports that I need to make my business go scale up to the next level. I should have the knowledge of that. I should be having the knowledge. Today's youth should have the knowledge of working on that particular technology, on that particular app. And that is where I have said that, don't stop the youth of today if they are spending time on the devices, but are they spending it effectively? That is what you have to look upon, because there is no stoppage on. Yes, memory, it has a drawback of it, but we have to see that tomorrow, when we are going to the diverse market, when you are going to the global market, sitting in India, making the product reach to America, it will take time, but I have to make it reach. Then only my business will succeed. Then in that case, I need the digitalization, I need the use of the technology is very, very essential. So human skills from the payroll part, when we think from the, when we think from the recruitment, especially the attrition today, organizations are saying that I'm not able to retain the people. Why they are not able to retain? I would just ask a question to the organizations, the CEOs, CHROs, and the HRs of the organizations. I will have a question to them. Are you using the potential that the youth is bringing from the technological point of view? If you will utilize and blend that technological informations, what will happen? It will benefit the organization also, as well as the youth also. The blend is, they will feel satisfied, they are coming with innovation, they are coming with passion, they want to do things very fastly. I don't want to stick on to 9 to 5 or 10 to 12. That is not what it is being. I want to finish. You want to give me a work, you give me this aspect very clearly, that this is to be delivered. I will deliver it in no time with the use of technology. So today the organization has to recruit the people who can do the things very fast. Increased productivity can come only based on that, not based on, just giving a training. Okay, this is how you have to use the app, this is what it has to be done. Today you bring in, that's why reverse mentoring is being coming in, right? So that today's youth can mentor the people of the yesteryear, their experiences that can be blended up together with the technology, and the organization can get benefited. If you want to stop attrition, if you want to retain the people, this is the most important aspect that it is to be addressed. And the next thing that I want to say is, you should not even think about, if this person goes, what will happen. You have to always think from the organizational point of view, and you have to always add up to the new technological skills, then only you will match to the digital age. Else, if you will still go on with the same people, then it will be difficult. So human resource, when training and development we are talking about, they have to be up to date, and they have to be on the toes of what's happening in the technological world, and how the human potential needs to be trained, skillful and knowledgeable using the technology, how they can be more data centric, how it can be more easily be delivered. That should be the more focus of the human resources. Then only the retaining and the attrition can be brought down. And the recruitment has to go on. According to Indian statistics, it is being said that recruitments and selections and OD services are going to be the topmost services coming up, or is the growing industry in the globe also, as well as in the Indian market also. Why is it talking about the recruitment services going up? Because it is looking or hunting for technological skills. So I'm just telling to all the youths, have the technological certificates and the skill sets, learn and get yourself equipped on that arenas, because that is where industries are going to look out for you. The next comes on the financial aspect. Uh, Earlier, we were thinking about bootstrapping. We were thinking about angel investor, venture capitalist as a method for investing in the business. But today, we have to think about different angle altogether. The financial, how you can put across or fuel your businesses with the money, with the investment that it is being. Cryptocurrency has come in, digital, everything is in the digital form. When that has come in, it has not been widely being used, but still, if it has come, the technology has come, it will take up the entire world into that digitalization. So finance has to be looked from a very different perspective altogether. In the banking, earlier what happens is, we used to go stand in the queue, we go and get our payments collected. But today things are being very easy through the internet, right? The transactions are happening digitally, technological supports are being there. So in the financial aspect, can those things being done in such a way that it is the hard cash, the physical things can be minimized, if that can be worked out and with a lesser cost, if it is being looked upon, then that would be the better area that entrepreneur can think about. Infrastructure, when we talk about the infrastructure, co-working space is being coming up, the hybrid working culture is coming up, remote working place is being coming up. All these are the new trends of the working setups, infrastructures. There was a time after COVID, it is after COVID, all these options have gone open and people are being open. Earlier, see, I'm also doing a webinar, right? Earlier, it was always in a closed room that a session was being given. It will only come to a very few. But today, we are ensuring through the use of technology how it can reach to the masses, right? So when we talk about the infrastructure, it's about a cost. entrepreneur has to ensure how they can minimize the particular cost. So co-working space, they can think about the hybrid working model. It's not about having always a monitor what you are doing, have you done it or not, the work. Like the mindset people have, managers have the mindset, right? That is that they are working in the at home. If I will allow them to work, you don't think about whether they are working or not. You just worry about whether the task assigned to the individual was completed or not. That is the shift of attention that is being required. So that's why in the infrastructure, give importance to the infrastructure which is most important. Get the space in the cloud computing. Get the infrastructural qualities from the artificial intelligence, machine learning. From that perspective you get it, the infrastructure. That way you say that my organization is rich, rather than a table and a chair. Okay, rather than an AC or the ventilation aspects. Work environment has been changing. And the last aspect from the resources is data centers. It's all about the digital world. It is about the data that we are talking about. Every individual that the person is been working on, this particular data has to be stored somewhere and it has to be used, because whatever the individual is doing, if it is being put across in the data, what happens is the analysis can be done to increase the productivity. For example, if I am working for 1 hour, what are the different aspects that I have worked on? If I have the data, I compare it with 10 people data, I will know that who will be effective, who will not be effective, and what kind of environment needs to be put across, right? That is what is the importance of the data centers, and it has to come in. And an entrepreneur has to think from this particular angle, this resources. So first came the industry, the second came the market, the third came from the resources. What kind of resources you should have, what kind of financial supports you can have, what kind of infrastructures you need to have, what kind of data centers. Data center is the most key point, because that is what is going to rule your business, right? You can start a business, a one man show. That is possible if you have effective dominant data center with you. Then you can do it a one man show. Most of the organization will come up with a one man show slowly. Okay. And the next I have few more slides that it is being there. So I'll talk about the customers and the consumers aspect, because without them a business is no business. It has no meaning. So I've just put certain phrases. I need the moon in my hand. Hey, what are you telling? You might be thinking, right? But today's customer want all these things. So an entrepreneur should not take the literal meaning that I have to go take the moon and give it in the hand of the individual. How that feeling can be given, it is all about digital world, right? I have to give that particular feeling that the moon is in my hand of the customer. So an entrepreneur has to really understand the impossible, unrealistic, not pragmatic thinking of the customers, and make it realistic through the use of technology. Through the use of technology, that is what it is being required. And if you are making those things possible, make them feel, that's why customer satisfaction and delight is going to be entirely changed. It is not about the salesman going and knocking the door and saying that, good morning sir, I am here to give my services, what is your problem, I'm going to address in so and so thing. That's not going to be customer satisfaction and delight. It's going to be changed. It's about the product and the services which is easy to handle, affordable rate, and it should give the status for the customer when they are having. So whenever you have a services, it should give the status. So you have to create the status, and if you have to create that particular status, this status is talking about the USP of your product, which will come from your technological thing. The another thing is, I want everything for free because I am the king, and the customer is king. right? So if you will see that there are many freebies are being there, right? You go to Reliance Trends, any shop you go, you get certain things, and you get the free coupons or vouchers. What do you do? Array, I have already purchased, what will I do for this thing, right? I give it to my friend, and they will go and get the benefit of it. So slowly it is like how many freebies are being coming associated with the kind of services you would be providing. That's the mindset of the customer. So where is the profit coming in? Where is it? Are we going towards barter system? Sometimes we have to think about that, right? Because customer is becoming more and more challenging. So digital world, this kind of things will come where they will pose a lot of challenges, but yet you have to make it if you want to earn, if you want to stand in the market, that it is being required. There is where innovation has to come. There is where influencing, negotiating, this kind of skill sets that is going to play a bigger role. Okay. So I have taken a business model and technology, which is being given by Lilia Satalkina and Gerald Steiner in one of their research paper, which was being published in May 2020, which is talking about how the complex societal transition. I'll not take much time on this particular slide, but I'll just like to say that digital entrepreneurship talks about the processes, entrepreneurial processes. It talks about the qualities of the entrepreneur and the ecosystem. If you remember, Professor Muniji was been talking about the ecosystem, the different kinds of ecosystems are being there, right? Never forget about the ecosystems. If you will forget about the ecosystem, disbalance will come, and it is technology is going to be, instead of a boon, it will become a bane for us. Okay, so that's the reason a digital entrepreneurship should ensure the qualities of an entrepreneur who is very hardworking, passionate about the particular business that they are running about, and the ecosystem. It is friendly to the ecosystem. It is managing. We do not have any rights to destroy the ecosystem, because we live in this particular ecosystem. We have to contribute and add and supplement to the ecosystem, rather than and utilize its resources in an effective and optimum manner. Okay, but not to destroy it. So that is what the digital entrepreneurship talks about in this particular paper. Now, I would like to bring out my method if I would go about creating an entrepreneur training program. If I want to bring in, what is that the different kinds of processes I would look into, or what I would be training the entrepreneurs on. The first thing, across the globe, this will remain the same thing. One is support in transformations to better in life. New look for the society, meaningful shift. That is most important thing. When you have a business idea, look from the societal perspective rather than for self and few people. As I said, the youth perception is about diversity. They want to go global. They want to reach global, right? So if I want this transformation, and what happens is when we go global, the cultures are being different, it is going to diffuse, infuse, all those things are going to happen. Then society has to make the changes accordingly. If that changes are not being accepted, there will be conflicts will be there. And if this gets blended, there will be a meaningful shift. Everyone would be very happy to contribute more productively. The youth will be more productive in their life because they are getting the opportunity to contribute to the society. That is the culture that India has, right? Culture, the rich culture India has to give to the world also, that how meaningfully we can contribute to the society rather than just thinking about ourselves. When we think about others, what happens is slowly it will come. All the good things that you do for others, it will come back. It is about the karma that we are talking about. right? So you have to think from the transformation. Your transformation from will be from the digital point of view, how the digital transformations can take place, how you can include all the diverse kind of a people, and how you can make it more meaningful. Reflect the product and services for others benefit. You have to see that it is in the, rather than thinking from a niche population, go for reaching it to diverse population, making it affordable. Let us live all together. We are human beings, right? Whether it is an Indian, Japanese, a French person, whosoever it is, an African, we should not think we are one. That is human beings, right? And whatever is accessible over here, whether it is a developed country, developing countries, it has to be shared, it has to be, reachable in an affordable way. That customization has to be done, right? So my product and services should take into account the culture of the particular nation, the need of that particular nation, the skill sets of the youth. When all these things will be getting reflected, this will be reflective, and I will have a diverse people working in my organization, and they reflecting their kind of an idea into the products and the services, and it will go for the benefit of others. So a lot of awareness program has to be done when it comes to this two particular area. And the third thing is seek support. This is one of the gray area that people do not know about. Just a minute, 1 minute. Sorry. Okay. So I would just like to say that this is a gray area where people are not seeking support, or they are not aware of. Government are coming out with so many policies are being there, but how much it is being used? It is not being used because rural youths are not being aware of how it has to be taken up. Training has to be given, what kind of support the government has to give towards the organization. Educational institution has to give technological support, learnings on the technological aspect. It has to become the curriculum itself, that any one particular module in all these subjects should be related to technology, how the entire concepts can be converted to technology. That becomes very, very important. And the third aspect is partnering, right? If I do not have the financial support, there is nothing wrong in getting partnered with other people, because this will give you quantity, the number of quantity, and that will make the pricing also low, make it more affordable, and it will reach to the masses also, and you will be happy that you are reaching to many of the people. It is
There is some internet issue. Please stand for connection. I think there is an internet interruption. Let us wait for Dr. Kavita to join. Uh, Mr. Manish?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So, no, meanwhile, let her join. And
Okay, sir.
let me brief that today's presentation by Dr. Kavita is very important. She covered almost every aspect from her practical experience, and also that the expertise and experience which she has got it. She talked about she talked about various areas, that the challenges which the global market is facing. And he brought out a very important growing industry statistics, and spend more time on youth perception, and finally said that entrepreneurship is as a solution and area of entrepreneurship concern. And when she talked about the youth unemployment rate in G20 countries, it's alarming. In South Africa, she's back now. That okay, it seems that there is an internet
Yes,
issue there. Okay, please
that's
continue. Let me
yeah,
utilize that
yeah,
benefit. Okay, please carry on.
yeah. Can I have the slides being presented?
Ma'am, you have to upload it
Mr.
again.
Mani. Hmm.
Manishi, can you
Ma'am, you
just
have to upload it again. Just click on the present, go on the slide, and that will show. Click on the slide, then it will come.
oh okay. Oh, just a minute, okay.
Okay.
I'll just take
Yeah,
2 minutes
please
then.
carry on, sir. And
Yeah.
and it's the unemployment rate which she talked about. It is South Africa is 64.8%, 18%, and Saudi Arabia 28.84%, and India is 28.6%. And she asked a question: is entrepreneurship is a solution? Whether we should look into manufacturing or service. Even she also talked about two-thirds of economic activities are in service, and almost 50% of the workforce is working in the service. But they're all it's a ground situations. But she said that technology adoption is very important, and she quoted that Industry 4.0, which facilitates increased productivity, increased flexibility, increased quality, and increased speed. And this is where that this is that Industry 4.0, and almost every entrepreneurship has to build on the strength of Industry 4.0. That's why even my opening remarks, and also the interest of the university having a center for Industry 4.0 technology studies and application, we launched an MBA program in Industry 4.0 to train 63 million MSMEs in the country, whether it is a one-man army or 1,000 people army, but they have to be globalized. And in SME, which produces a mixie in India and the mixie in South Korea, it has to be of same quality. The distance should be zero in the global market. And she also talked about that the growing industry. She talked about e-commerce, cloud computing, artificial intelligence, healthcare, and hospitality. And they also talked about youth perception with respect to these areas. It's a very important area which she talked about it. And future is the future is the youth, and youth have to be converted as a technologically enabled AI leaders. This is where the challenge is there, because data is the engine for development. And previously started with when we entered into the service is data for development. Now with a technological tool, it is from statistics to the raw data, it becomes an engine for development. And tomorrow's youth has to enter into in an industry which is going to be totally digitalized. And he also talks about that industries looking into market, and based on resources, and based on customers, and also national policies. It's a data driven organization. And it is ready now.
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. and
Can I do the
and
presentation?
yeah, please just let me finish that one. And she
Yeah.
also talked about its market is dynamic, And there she made a very important statement. I think it is a big concern also. 90% of the startups survive for 1 year, and 69% of the small business, 69%, I think, okay, okay, and
Yes, please.
69, yeah, I think you have to, mute your mic, then.
Oh, right.
And 69% of the small business survive for 2 years, and 50% of the startups will survive for 5 years. And this seems to be an alarming rate. That it's very important. That's why, if this statistics, if you relate with the Asian Development Bank report, where India has been given the the index rating is 76, 75, and whether it is a scale up ecosystem or stand up ecosystem or startup ecosystem, and this is where the we have to look into it, is very important. And I think, over to Dr. Kavita. Yes. Yes, madam. Yeah, you have to unmute.
Yeah, I'm extremely sorry for the technological glitch. We are talking about digitalization, and here there's this. These are also the drawbacks that happens, but we have to embrace it and we have to move forward, because the life will not stop anywhere. That is what the digital era talks about. Okay. So coming to the point where I was talking about seeking support, where I was talking about the partnering, I was talking about how we should take the support of the third parties also and get involved and reach to the masses. And I remember Professor Moniji talking about the vision aspect, right? So today, vision, we should always think from a broader concept. It is like every organization has its own vision. We have to get it blended with we have to get it blended with the organizations. We have to get organization culture, we have to get it blended to the society, we have to get it blended to the today's youth need, we have to blend it to the technological thing also, we have to look from the global perspective. It has to go from the process owner within the organization and customer in the market. That should be the vision, rather than a smaller perspective of the vision, looking for only a few people to be catered around. Today, we have to look for the diverse market and enter into the diverse field altogether. So that is aligning to the vision part. It's very, very important aspect in entire business thing, because if you start up a business without a vision, as I said, you will be there only for 1 year. Sustainability will become an issue if aligning of the vision is being missed out. So for sustaining and going for industry 4.0, this becomes very, very important, aligning to the vision aspect. Next comes the blockage, that is today's entrepreneur in the path of the success. I had one youth perception which I have put it across, saying that promoting, they are very concerned about their health perspective, right? So when I talk about the health perspective, at the same time, when you are entering into entrepreneurs, today's youth are also saying that I want to enjoy. Now I cannot take off this component as a separate thing, right? I have to address, if they want to enjoy, I cannot force them, no, no, you sit and work hard, like how it was being there as a mandatory rules and regulation, from this time to this time it has to work. Tomorrow's youth are going to pose it like that. Then entrepreneurs who are starting up their organization, they, in their organization, the human resources will come from that perspective. How will they manage, right? So these are some of the issues, like time issues. Digitalization we will go for, then time management will become a big issue, like how much time a person should be spending in to say that you are being productive, because digitalization helps in making things very faster and quick. Then what is the time that it is being required? There is a security issues are being there. Today I'm just presenting it, whatever it is being there. Tomorrow somebody will just cut, copy, paste, and use it later on. To what extent it has to be given an access to, and how it has to be curbed, that becomes a biggest challenge in the digital age. And entrepreneurs have to work on this particular area also. And when I say security issues, today it is not being very safe. When I say you are being bombarded with the informations, when you say bombarded with the informations, what kind of informations is very important, safe to be used, which URL has to be clicked, which is legitimate, and all those things becomes a biggest concern. That's a major concerns that the parents are having. So all these areas are to be looked upon working. If I only look for the competition per se, then it will be full time working, because digital world is going to pose a big competition. Every time, every day there should be a new thing that is happening. I just remember in 2000 in India we were having Nokia phone 3220 is what it is being 3015 something like that we were having, right? And today we are having a smartphone. When were having a smartphone, earlier the features were being very less, net connectivity for all those things were being charging. Now there are so many features are being there. There are so many benefits are being there. Entrepreneurs are being challenged by competition, and that becomes like, is it I am going to become innovative every day, every hour I have to become? Is it possible? For human being it is possible, but to what extent it is going to impact on the health and the mental pressure that each one individual will be undergoing, that is the biggest question mark that we have to. Is it that we are going to balance the life, the personal life and the organizational life, for the passion and because passion, if you a person is passionate, time doesn't have a boundary. They just don't look for it. They just go on working, and it impacts on their health. Okay. So it becomes very important. Again, on the same line, sustainability also becomes a biggest issue, because sustainability talks about, it's only about this much time this particular business is going to work, and after that my product and services need to have additional features. So every time the changes is being happening, sustainability of the business, because the resources that I am using will be changed. How will I add up more and more skill sets to this particular business, and that will help me sustainability. This becomes the building blocks. So that's the reason, if you remember, I have said employment for how many years it has to be. That is very, very important, and from that area you have to define sustainability. So, with this, I would like to say that, are you ready for your digital life? Because nobody can stop you entering into the digital life, and having a digital lifestyle is very, very important. So this is a slide which is only talking about, where and all you have to focus upon, how you have to focus upon, what you have to look upon. What are these are the tips that is being given to you, then how you can use the digital world to the entire business scenario that you are going to create and make it successful business strategy. Okay, so you have to look from the platforms that you are using. So there are so many platforms are being there. You have to see, you have to bargain on over there, negotiate over there, that which is the better platform. You have to see which is the user generated content where you will be using it and reaching to your customers. What kind of marketplace you will be doing the promotion. See, marketing mix I am talking about. The market mix has changed and it has become in this manner: developer, user generated content, marketplace, compatibility, and data, rather than the 7 Ps that we were talking about, right? And in any of these things, in any of the business, you should have digital identity. That's the most important thing. Without a digital identity, the business is not going to get sustained. And for that, you have to get the education appropriately according. So please ensure in your CV, do you have the skill sets? Do you know how to use this, how you can create the digital identity, as well as how you can use and explore this marketing mix and bring into your business and make it more effective. And with this, I would like to close my session saying that, is it about productivity, technology, or employment that we are talking about when we talk about the changing landscape of entrepreneurship in the digital age? Is it only about employment? Is it about technology? Is it about productivity? I do not want to give an answer for this because I know the smart people are there. The audience has a good answer. With this, I want a thought provoking thing. I would like to end up my session. I want you to think about it and then only start up your business. What is the meaning? This will generate meaning, and this is going to create a vision for you. So, with the support, with the thought as a vision for you to create a vision for your business, I will just stop my presentation and talk. And I hope you have enjoyed the entire presentation and it was being useful for you. So I am open for Q&A, and you can connect with me at any point of time whenever you feel that there is something that I can support. So we are coming from talent abundance, HR solutions, into more into the OD practices. Yes. Yeah. Professor Moniji, I think you have to unmute yourself. Ah.
Thank you very much. And you have given a complete, it's a landscape. You're using the word that, end-to-end, value chain. You covered about so many value chain. And people will say that the technology is brought when we were without technology, we were able to maintain our business without any problem, family business and tradition after tradition, generation after generation. And there is a phrase that any business which will survive if the third generation is able to survive that business. And but you also gave a figure that about 90% of the startups survive for 1 year, 69 for 2 years, and then 50% for 5 years. And where is the question of third generation here? It's basically, they're all, product, market mix, what the market wants, what the people want. And you also gave the last slide, which is more, thought provoking. Is there a digital identity? Previously, you had identity, you were not able to get connected, and it took time. Even to run a conference, international conference means 2 years. You have to start the process, and it will take 2 years. Nowadays, and then you also talked about that if you would like to have a conference in a physical conference in a room, so you have to travel. And then many times that the VIP is not able to come down, it's delay. Nowadays, it's not like that. It is people with the connectivity, and people will look into it, and it start at exactly the right time, and you have more time to go through it, speak about it, convey your views, talk about the problems, and the technology facilitates. But the technology has to be understood. And we work always with the technology option default. Technology comes with so many options, but we work with the default option. We don't optimize for anything. If you can optimize, provided if you understand the technology, you are part of the technology development. And India is a superpower in IT. And you just to think it out, we have a lot of human resources are being developed by IITs, NITs, 4,500 engineering colleges, and about 30,000 non-engineering colleges, polytechnics, so many institutions. 1.5 million engineers are coming out every year. And thing is that where are the products which are available? When Honorable Prime Minister, banned about 260 Chinese apps during 2 years back, how many apps equivalent to such apps we are able to generate and make it available to our consumers? We have IITs, we have NITs, we have engineering colleges and triple ITs and which has been established exclusively take the country, in a top level. That's why it is Indian Institute of Information Technologies So and if that is the situation which is available, and when you look into the Asian Development Bank report, September 2022, and in this webinar series also I listed out some of the talk, our startups has to go to panchayat level. Why still they are in tier 1 cities, in IITs and IIMs campuses? Once again, it's supervised by the professors they were living in the campus. That's why I particularly put it that this has to be scaled up to the panchayat level. And panchayat level means what? It can generate 2.25 lakh agri-tech startups alone. And then SMEs. And it is agriculture is a multiplier effect. 1%, the growth rate in agriculture, it has a multiplier effect in industry as well as also in the service sector. And this is the highest employment generator even now. When we got independence in 1947, about 65% employment opportunity. Now it is about something like 45 to 50%. And this is, and then, today India has taken over the presidentship of G20 for 2023. And the logo is that it's Vasudeva Kudumbakam. It is one earth, one family, and one future. It means that we have to globalize. If we are able to globalize our 400 agriculture commodities, if we are able to have 14.5 crore operational holders and 63 million SMEs, if they are globalized, if they are all entrepreneurship in the digital age, I think that India will be the Annadatta for the whole world, because of the simple reason that we have 365 days of sunshine, 127 agroclimatic zones producing products, producing agriculture producers throughout the year. And if you adopt technology, science and technology on smallholder farms, we can produce what the customer wants it. And technology adopted value chain, data value chain, food value chain, agriculture value chain, and so on and so forth. This is where I have been voicing with the adoption of Dr. Ashok Dalwai committee report, which will bring in larger scale. If 17 sustainable development goals has to be achieved, this is a decade of development announced by UN in 2019. If these 17 development goals have to be achieved, agriculture has to be digitalized and SMEs has to be digitalized, and they have to adopt industry 4.0, industry 5.0. And you also said it that that people have to be the part of the whole process, whether they are process owners or producers or customer. And this is a very important thing that, madam, you also brought out a business model in technology. And I was totally immersed in your your talk, as is not only as an expert you talked about, but you talked as a teacher. Very clearly you talked about it. And I was watching that. I was not able to see any tension on your face, with a smiling face as a teacher teaching in a classroom environment. And this is more important. We have to tell the people that how technology has to be adopted and brought out complete ecosystem. And this has to be seen. This is where this is the first university, private university in the world, an engineering university, has taken agriculture as a use case. There are 3 areas. We have set up 5 centers of excellence, and 2 are in agriculture. We have to bring in agriculture risk management solutions. For agriculture in industry has to be bringing sustainability at the grassroots level. And what is being produced has to go as a processed one, cannot go as a raw material. And like India has got a vast coastal region, 12 coastal states, 9 coastal states and 4 coastal union territories. And the fish is not up, and then inland fisheries, they don't go as a processed food, it goes as a raw material. But we get from processed food from even from Vietnam, from Cambodia. And this is, we have to look into every product which is being produced, the place of production, it has to be converted into as a processed one, go as a brand. This is where in a digital age you can get connected throughout the world, any nook and corner where this internet connectivity can be made available. This is where today's topic is the changing landscape of entrepreneurship in the digital age. And we also have got a 3-month program, skill and entrepreneurship development. We would like to convert boys and girls in the rural area to be converted as an entrepreneur. And and with the human, that's what the chairman of the Hindustan Unilever Limited in 2012, he said it in the general body meeting. Rural India can give an additional $1.9 trillion to then existing GDP to India, 2012. And if technology is adopted, and even now, if you do the dollar conversion rate, now today India talks about by 2025 we'll have a $5 trillion economy, and 2030 we'll have a $10 trillion economy. If rural India start adopting optimal utilization of the appropriate utilization of the natural resource which has it, appropriate technology is developed, and in the digital age, our economy will even cross 10 trillion without any problem. And we don't have to wait for 2050 to get into the second position or first position. We can achieve well before. And some of the areas, even some of the districts, it have to be declared as a special economic zone, a district wise, because district has got all the facilities. Each district, some of the districts are equivalent to many of the space wise, population wise, is more than many of the developed economies. So we have got 753 districts, 753 economic zone has to be declared, and C for developmental aspect. All educational institution, higher education institution should work for technology development for the district in which they are located. There is no point in generating human resources for Western countries. If there is an IIT, if there is an IIM, if there is an NIT, if there is a triple IT, if there is an AIMS, if there is an Central University, they have to see that for a particular state how the economy should be developed, how the state should be developed in association with the state level higher educational institution. It may be cooperative, it may be public, it can be private. This is where we can match with either Japanese economy or the Korean economy, South Korean economy. And this is very important because higher education institution with a new education policy, rather than creating politics in operationalization. That's why in one of the talk I said it is no more a national education policy. It has to be given as a national education mission. Mission means you have to operationalize it. You have to give opportunity every student in the rural area who is also getting educated. He should be the part of the access to all resources. So this is a very important topic which Madam Dr. Kavita Shunmughan, you have given it. But I also would like to request you that how your institution, your organization, and the centers of excellence which you have now, I talked about it, that our focus is that how rural India can shine, can smile and roar. And if smart city has to be successful, smart village has to be operational. If there is no smart village, there cannot be smart city. And then we have to, with the technology available, with the BharatNet getting into every village, and also that Thursday, in a very in entrepreneur, he talked about that adoption of PM Vani, that is Prime Minister's Wi-Fi access network interface, how we can give bulk internet capability access with a reduced cost, affordable cost, and that is more important. And internet has to be made available on demand basis, and it cannot be a constraint, because that is national logistic policy. So this is very important, and technology has to facilitate the removal of all lock in the logistic, whether supply to demand, supply for a demand, or a demand for to supply. It is very important, and I would like to request you, that how we can work together, and how can, based on your vast experience, how we can convert a 3 months or 6 months diploma program based on that. This is entrepreneurship in digital age, because we have a skill and entrepreneurship development. I will send you the brochure to you. You can modify
Yeah.
it, and then
Yes,
see
for
that
sure.
how you can you can join with the university, and then we can
Sure.
both organization and a memorandum, through an institutional collaboration, we can achieve it in pan India mode. This
Thank
is
you.
very important. And and I think there is a session which is coming, excellent session, madam, covered ICT and non-ICT inclusion. Thank you very much.
Yes.
It gives a glimpse on emerging dynamic digital entrepreneurship with innovative entrepreneurship, with how to improve and strengthen the existing digital landscape. So it is very important, and I am very happy that I will send you the brochure. You can look into it. Let us start a 3 months or 6 months program, so that
Sure.
the boys and girls, either agricultural science graduate or engineering students, or postgraduate students who are already out of the campus now, COVID
Yes.
situation has forced them to go back to their village. With the digital
Hmm.
technology, they have to be made an entrepreneur. There is no
True.
retirement. There is no
There is
retirement. They
no
can work from
retirement
home.
that is coming. That's
There is no
true. But now
retirement.
you have to be healthy throughout the life, and every
I,
time there should
see,
be a contribution.
I'm at the age of 70. Now I'm also, using internet, and, working for, what all the knowledge which we have got it should be made available to the younger generation.
Yeah, I
Now
think
they,
that
which,
is where there is a gap also for the younger youth. They are being exposed to many of the things, but they do not know how to use it. So there is where the technology, there is where the educational institution, national policies can help out the youth in getting aware of this thing. Many things they are not aware of how to utilize it, and what they have to, and how to make it fruitful, and how it has to be aligned to their vision. They have all the thoughts is being there, but they are not able to make it in a realistic, or they cannot make, they can dream it, but they are not able to make it real. There is where our support can make a huge difference or an impact on the youths, and can promote entrepreneurship within them. And it's not necessary that as an entrepreneur you have to get and start your organization. You can have these entrepreneurial qualities, and then you can become an entrepreneur within the organization. That will also benefit the organization itself. And every employee that is working for an organization, they have to think like it is my organization, and how my organization can contribute. And that feeling can come when this utilization and the opportunities are being given, and the stigmatizations or the roles that the people are taking, the managers are being taking, or the top level the organization culture is having, that needs to be entirely be taken, washed off, and looked from a different glance and perspectives altogether. Okay, and from that perspectives, huge changes can be expected. And yes, I truly believe that all the schemes that the Indian nation, Indian Prime Minister Modi ji has been bringing in, it is for the benefit, but how much it is reaching, there is where
Yeah,
the question mark.
this is an important
Can we
point.
make it
I
more? Can we make it more accessible? That is what we should be
no,
aiming
I
at.
the point which you brought it is very important. Most of the
Yeah.
schemes, if you go to the
Uh,
block level offices, they don't know. They don't want to
yes.
know. And district level, many of the district level offices don't know many of the central government schemes. And
Mm.
this is where that this is educational institution. Even many educational institutions, they also don't know the government schemes. And I don't know what stopped them. And many of the colleges are UGC funded, taxpayers money. And all the educational institution, whether colleges or engineering colleges who have got the taxpayers money, whether private or public, they have the responsibility to bring government schemes without any political affiliation to get into the students. They have the responsibility to teach to the students that these are all the government schemes which has come in this particular year. The budget of both the state government and central government have to be taught to the students as a priority manner. The students should know what is how India is developed. It's not based on some discussion going on in some TV channel. So I'm very happy that, madam, it is very important talk which you had it, and we, and I brought it out some of the things that purposefully I brought the Asian Development Bank report, which is September 2022. It is an alarming rate, and that way we have to how to overcome that problem which is existing. And and our youths, you said it very clearly, youths are the future. They got innovative ideas, but that has to be channelized. The channelization is more important. And otherwise, rather than flowing water, it's only will be the noises will come. And with the ever increasing social media, that we if you don't channelize the efforts and ideas of the youth, and we are losing it, and rural India is losing it. And internet, you also you are speaking from from Kerala, Kochi, Cochin,
Yes, in
you know
Kochi.
Cochin. I have, when he's called Mr. Sripati, Sripatri. He is called a jackfruit ambassador. He is a journalist, farmer. When he was delivering a talk, he was not able to deliver a talk from his village, which is just 1 hour travel from Kasargod. There is no internet connectivity. And he has to, stop his presentation in the middle of his program. BSNL services are not, providing good, stable internet connectivity. So I have been, I have taken up in different route, because Kerala is a well-developed state. And if the state cannot have, is not providing a sustainable internet connectivity, everybody can be an entrepreneur in Kerala, with a climate which has got, with the education, educational capability, and so on and so forth. Climate is more important. So it's your topic is very
Yeah.
important. Thank you very much. And let us work together to bring in how this changing
Sure.
landscape of entrepreneurship in digital age is visible in rural area. Thank you very much.
Sure.
With this,
Yeah.
I would like to thank you and the participants who are viewing it, and also our Honorable Chancellor, Honorable Vice Chancellor, His Excellency, the Secretary General Ardo, faculty members, and also participants for this wonderful webinar. We had it on the topic changing landscape of entrepreneurship in the digital age. As one of the viewer, he said it that you covered both ICT inclusion and non-ICT inclusion. It's very important because every ICT technology to be successful, digital technology to be successful, there are so many components which are in the non-ICT sector also has to be looked into it to have an ecosystem.
Yes.
Is an ecosystem, is a platform economy. Thank you very much. And with this, we will close the webinar and leave the studio. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.